This might be the reason why AAA games are monetized so heavily in the current day of gaming.
Are you sure about that?
So it has been reported that AAA games require 10 million sales to be profitable for big publishers. That's a lot of sales. Not many games out there can hit 10 million. Um, Over the years, games have become more expensive to produce, and we've noticed that they have been monetized more with in-game purchases and stores such as cosmetics. We have games like Fortnite, League of Legends, Halo Infinite went that way, Destiny. Every game has monetization nowadays. And this might be the reason why. Games used to not be so expensive to make, but with more staff, more expensive technology, the games are just expensive to make. Cutscenes. So in this article here, AAA games reportedly need to sell over 10 million copies in order for them to be considered profitable by major publishers. According to Jeff Grubb, who is known for his sources in the games industry, big publishers have deemed AAA games to be profitable only if they manage to sell over 10 million units. Grubb took to Twitter to share his thoughts on the current state of AAA games. Based on his sources, he is of the impression that licensed games are considered the biggest ingredient for success these days, and that this is what we should be expecting from major publishers for the next 5 years. So, licensed games, for example, Fallout New Vegas, they took the license of Fallout. The developer was Obsidian, not Bethesda. They took the license of Fallout and made a game, and it sold well. They could have just made their own game that no one knows about. It's not a franchise and it might not have sold so well. So they're saying here that licensed games will most likely do better. He further elaborated by saying that he's been flat out told by that big games need to get to as close to 10 million units sold as possible, and that this is easier to do with a license. However, Grubb didn't appear to agree with this notion, as to him, it is merely yet another checkmark in the "this is all unsustainable" column. So I guess it's known in the gaming industry that making big AAA games and making sure that the big AAA games are successful, it's unsustainable. Even if they are licensed games, chances are it's unsustainable. That's why a lot of developers nowadays are trying to make one good game and monetize it, like League of Legends, Fortnite, Warzone, PUBG. One AAA game that did, in fact, cross the 10 million unit milestone is God of War Ragnarok. Santa Monica Studio revealed on Twitter that the game has officially sold through 11 million copies to date, making it the fastest selling PlayStation first party title ever. And the article just goes on to talk about God of War. So this is really interesting. Um, I did not realize that big AAA games need to sell this much for it to be for them to be profitable. It could be very. I can see why it could be very scary for publishers because they make AAA games and it's required they need 10 million sold. Um, so they're monetizing more. Maybe they could sell 4 million, but through monetization, it might be 4 million copies. Put monetization, it might equal as if they sold 20 million copies by the end of the life cycle of the game. So, what are some fixes that publishers can do to make games not need to sell 10 million copies? Well, they could take a look at indie studios. Indie developers are making great games that are very, very cheap. I think studios should go back to the way they were in the early 2000s. Look, for example, at, I don't know, I just think of Bungie. Look at Halo 1, for example, Halo 2. Great games. Bungie wasn't massive. So the overhead of having to pay all the developers and the building wasn't that expensive. Um, let's just look. If we were to look here at How much did it cost to make Halo 1 or Halo CE? It is one of the most. Wait, Halo CE? 100 million? I don't know about that. I guess there aren't any numbers on this, but it says over 100 million. I don't think so. Halo 2, how about? Okay, so I guess it cost $120 million to produce Halo 2. Well, if a game is $60 and they need 10 million, that is $60 million.
What are you simpletons doing?
So if we are to take, they need to sell 10 million times, what's 10 million times 60? I don't feel like doing math. That would be $600 million. So $600 million. If you have a game that's 60 bucks brand new, they sell 10 million copies, 10 times 60 bucks. That's $600 million. They need $600 million to be profitable. If we were to go back, how much did Halo 2 cost to make? 120 million. Ooh. Let's do a more modern game. How much did it cost to make Uncharted 4? Let's do. Only 40 million. How much did it cost to make Halo 5? 160 million. So, how about let's do Assassin's Creed Odyssey. 500 million. That was its budget. How about we do how much it costs to make Assassin's Creed Valhalla? And it doesn't say, let's do Halo Infinite. 250 million for Modern Warfare 2. That's still a big profit for 600 million. Halo Infinite's budget was 500 million. That's still 100 million profit for Halo without take out the monetization. Still a huge profit for Call of Duty, take out the monetization. So I don't know if I believe that they need 10 million sales. It depends also the price of the game. I'm assuming $60. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think a AAA game needs 10 million sales to be profitable? I don't think it needs 10 million because that means $600 million. I think if you have a game's budget set at I don't know 150, 200 million, I think you can make a good game and need way less than 10 million sales. It says here that games average almost 300 million or below. So doubling that, I don't know. I just think games do not need to sell 10 million copies. I don't think they do. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments and have a nice day.